Okay, folks, this is a special edition of On the Real News. It's going to be a short edition, but there was so much breaking news today that we couldn't wait till Saturday. Not to mention,
we're late.
We missed Saturday, but that's beside the point.
We on that CB time. It was a holiday.
Yeah, so Roseanne Barr gets fired from ABC for racist tweets.
Donald Trump voice.
Who knew?
You see what I did there?
Who saw that coming?
Who would have saw?
Spawn is going to be played, or should I say Al Simmons will be played by none other than Jamie Foxx.
None other than?
This is some sad news. Apparently, Rick Grimes is leaving The Walking Dead by the end of the upcoming season.
And apparently, we're not watching it anymore.
I'm done.
Fucking done, son.
Forget it. And finally, Solo, a Star Wars story, seems to be tanking at the box office. And there's apparently some fallout at the Disney Corporation. Hashtag not my Solo. But with that said, let's get the party started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, enemies and friends, welcome to the show that never ends. You are tuned into On the Real on the R Squared Network, your weekly, where we keep you up to date in the world of TV and movies. I don't know what show it is anymore, but this is a special, very special.
You said Walking Dead.
Well, look, we're talking about The Walking Dead.
About how we're not watching it anymore, so that's what's on your head.
This is a very special breaking news edition. It's
Walking Dead is about to be,
show.
Fear the Walking
I'm
Dead.
your host, Steve Johnson, and joining me today is none other than my brother from the same mother.
The big bad mighty. You know who I am, to do the barge, LeVar Johnson.
Mr. Johnson.
All that stuff down there. The particulars.
So, again, so much stuff is going on today. But with that, let us get into the news. All right, okay. So, Roseanne Barr gets fired.
Yeah.
She's done. She's done. And I have on the screen what she said. So
something about this woman who works for Obama, I guess. She looks like a cross between a monkey and something like that. Read it verbatim.
So for Valerie Joy, I believe her name is. She worked in the Obama administration for quite some time. But Roseanne Barr says Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ, which is for Valerie Joy, which is this person. Now, here's the thing.
That's not a joke.
No, it's not a joke. And
you can't say, like, because people I've seen, like, some Caucasians in comment sections talking about, or even other people talking about Paul Mooney and the jokes that he make. Racially charged humor and just saying some bigoted racist shit is different.
Those terms, especially the monkey term, has a certain connotation to it. So I just think that she knew what she was doing, but here's the thing.
But
Disney,
are we really? Yeah.
Disney or ABC?
Yeah, they're not with the shits.
But they knew. I get that they fired her, but it's almost like they had to do that, like
because their hands was tied.
They knew what they were getting, right? Yeah. Like this is not. Like she was always like this. She was always about the conspiracy theories. So now it's gone a step too far. Why did they give her a show in the first place? By the way, the CEO of Disney
is a black woman.
Yes.
That's why she said, "You're effing done, son. Getting all out of here."
That same
Even
Wanda Sykes was one of the show in the first place, though.
Wanda Sykes was one of the producers, and she stepped down before they canceled the show.
So now she did apologize. We should say.
Yeah, people only apologize once they get caught. She don't feel bad. Once you start feeling the fire on that ass. Once you start feeling the fire on that ass, then it's just that like, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. She said she's leaving Twitter. Somebody said no, she needs to leave Earth.
Look, she is who she is. I'm just and so.
I mean, are you surprised that Trump supporter tweeted something racist? I mean,
no. But it's not only that. What I want to ask is, was there value in a show that spoke to
Trump supporters?
People who voted for Trump.
Because they're not to insult people's intelligence, but Roseanne was basically like middle America. She represented America. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's disrespect to middle America to say that Roseanne represented middle America, but go ahead.
But that's what she was supposed to represent, like not the wholesome, like, Cosby, but that's neither here nor there, but that type of, or like a Full House. It was more towards the, the bottom feeders, the people who are looked out as like lowlives.
Yeah, but bottom feeders is so. There's two things to because a lot of people get lumped in with Trump supporters. It is the people who voted for him, who were,
as Hillary Clinton would say, the deplorables.
Right, but I mean, some of those people are deplorables. I'm sorry. And I'm actually not sorry, but Roseanne not all of them are, and I think that
because she said some deplorable stuff.
I think that there is things that places we could think about. All in the Family, right? Yeah. Archie Bunker was a racist, but he was a lovable racist.
He wasn't a racist. He was a bigot.
But
he was bigoted, but I don't think he didn't hate. He didn't hate people.
There are different points of view in the world, right? And
Archie Bunker was funny though, man. Bring back Archie Bunker. Bring back the Jeffersons.
All I'm saying is, the point is,
I like my racism to be funny. Is what I'm saying.
But who's to say the show wasn't? And then what about all the people who kind of lost the bags?
That's what I was saying. I feel really bad, and I was saying the same thing about the Cosby Show. When somebody, the star of the show, does some dumb shit, now everybody else got to suffer. All these people who haven't had acting jobs in years, and then they back on TV, now that's snatched away from them. Beyond that, it's the crew, all the people who worked on it, the writers, the people who run the gimbals, the people who work the cameras, all of that. Now they're out of work. So that's real whack. If anything, they should just fire her and just bring it back and call it Roseanne-less. Like when
or Nozan.
Nozan, yeah.
Which is
just call it Dan, because like originally they killed off Dan, so this time just kill off Roseanne and bring it back with everybody else.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
No, okay. So, but, do we give Disney? Because Bob Iger put out a tweet. There was only one choice here, and that was the right one. Do we give ABC and Disney credit for this, or were they just reacting because they didn't want their stock price to dip? They just put out Black Panther, right?
They had to do something drastic and immediately. They have to show that they don't support that type of stuff in any type of way. There's a lot of things going on right now, like not even entertainment-wise, but just, black and white relations in this country, and it's just like you can't support that type of stuff. The fact that you put this show on and she's a Trump supporter, but then she go and say some crazy stuff like that, if they didn't do something drastic, then it shows that, you stand by that type of statement. Like calling a black person or whatever her ethnicity or religion, calling her a monkey, they had to fire her.
But these comments aren't new to her, right? She's been using this kind of language. So
I mean, right now everything is really heightened with the Starbucks stuff and all that other stuff that's going on. So now is the most sensitive time like there has ever been in American history. So it's if you say something and it's you're going to mess up their money or their bottom line, because all they care about is money at the end of the day. But if it's going to get them bad press and lose their money, you're out of here. That's it.
Now, I guess my next question is, do you fault Disney for hiring Roseanne in the first place?
I didn't watch the show, but if somebody was watching it, I can't fault them for that. I mean, the
show. I think the premise of the show is fine, but Roseanne herself, for all her dubious comments in the past.
Roseanne is who she is. Roseanne has been always one to try to shock people. I've never really found Roseanne funny like that. I think it's funny and not really funny. I'm sorry, but hypocritical. How your boy Trump, like that's his girl right there, and he bigs up Roseanne Barr for supporting him and all of that stuff. But yeah, you're talking about black athletes who take a knee, and that son of a bitch should be dragged out of there and fired and all of that stuff. But yet Roseanne sang the national anthem like as badly as she could possibly sing it, grabbed her vagina, and Hawk spit on the field. But that was cool. That's not disrespecting the anthem at all. But somebody kneeling, you know what I'm saying, which is more respectful, that's bad.
Okay, let me put it to you this way in regards to kneeling.
Yeah.
If I'm going to propose to a woman, I'm going to get on one knee and kneel out of respect. If you meet a king in the old days, you would kneel out of respect, right? So the idea that kneeling is
bad.
Is just
it's ridiculous.
A thing for people to get.
But it's just a talking point. It's bullshit.
All right. Do you want to move on to the next thing? Something a little more fun?
Yeah. I'm sorry I had to take it there, but that's just some real stuff. But it's not like what I was saying was not a fact.
Jamie Foxx wants to make amends for his atrocious role as Electro, and now he has officially signed on to play Al Simmons, or should I say, Spawn.
My God, Spawn.
What do you think about this?
I think that's pretty cool. Jamie Foxx, good choice. I mean, I wouldn't even been mad if they casted Michael Jai White again, but because Jamie Foxx is a bigger name.
But it's also a non-speaking role, really. And the way they explained it, they may change that.
He's not going to be speaking once he's Spawn.
Yeah,
because before that, he's going to be a soldier, Al Simmons, and they're going to give you the backstory and all of that.
No, they're not, though. This is the thing. This is the thing to understand, and this is what Todd McFarlane said, who is directing this, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I love him as a producer, and maybe he could even write a screenplay.
I haven't seen anything of his besides comics or whatever and toys.
No, there is nothing.
There's nothing for me to judge this based on. But the fact that Jamie is on it, I'm pretty sure they're not going to put out a terrible product. I'm sure that they're going to have dailies there and it's going to be people right on top of him and then making sure it goes a certain way. Similar to how like Ryan Coogler, he had never directed a superhero movie, but Disney knows the shots they want to get off, and it's just that like they give him free reign to write the story that he wants to, but the shots that they want to get off, they're going to get those off.
Yeah, but there's a difference there. I think that Ryan Coogler sort of built up to doing Black Panther, right? And I get it, that was the biggest project he had done to date, but he still did Fruitvale Station and then built up to a long beloved property with Rocky and did Creed. Yeah. You know what I mean? So this was sort of a natural progression to jump.
It is madness to me that he's not directing Creed 2, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, my point is, so this is from Todd McFarlane, who is writing and directing this thing. Yeah. This is not an origin story. He says only if we can prove that people like the franchise, if we bring it back, then in further movies, if they get to a trilogy, they will tell the backstory. We're not going to explain how he can do what he can do. He's just there. And the idea
like a
is
Spectre.
that he's a Spectre in the background. And this is what they've been doing in the more recent comics, which is still running from all the way back in.
And never stop.
So I don't know.
There's a bunch of other Image comics that don't come out no more, but I always see Spawn on the shelves.
Now, if it's a horror movie, and they're talking about, because this is Blumhouse, by the way. Yes. Blumhouse.
Were they the ones who were doing the New Mutants movie?
No. Blumhouse is like, they've done,
horror
that's what
movies.
They do, horror movies. Right? I think Blumhouse is Get Out, as well as, what's the new one? The Silence. The new horror movie with
the Be Quiet stuff. I forget what it's called.
Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Quiet Place. So they've done a lot of movies like that. So this is going to be another sort of supernatural horror movie, but with Spawn. This is not the big action set piece. It's not even Deadpool. It's going to be a different take. So maybe this is we thought it was going to be New Mutants, but that might be canceled now because of the whole Disney Fox thing. But maybe this is the new way forward to have the superhero genre sort of transform or permeate other genres. If Logan was a Western, if Winter Soldier was a political thriller, if The Dark Knight was a crime drama, this could be, if Ragnarok was a comedy.
Yes.
Right? This could be, okay, now we're really stepping into the horror genre in the right way. So, and Jamie Foxx, I don't want to say him lending his talents to this, because his name again, to Electro.
His name, beyond that, Jamie Foxx has an Oscar. I don't give a crap
about
the
He had an Oscar before he did Electro.
Yeah, but he has an Oscar, so it's like he gets a pass for that. But it's just like he's had a bunch of good work. It's not like he's put out a slew of crappy movies. He's done some shoddy work.
Superhero record. I'm not talking about him.
Yeah, that's just one movie.
Jamie Foxx is amazing.
But I don't know how this thing is going to work if they're saying Spawn is not going to speak, and if Jamie Foxx is just going to be in like prosthetic makeup, or he's just going to be. How are we
going to know that it's Jamie Foxx?
How are we even going to know it's Jamie Foxx? He's
probably just going to say, "I am Groot" the whole time.
Yeah, I am Spawn. I am Spawn. That's it. He probably just says "I am Spawn" at the end of the movie. That's it.
Maybe, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how to feel about this until I see the trailer.
So you don't feel better about it?
I don't feel better at worse because it's just like Todd McFarlane. I don't have nothing to base it on. Like, oh, I've seen him do this. This was dope. This is his first time directing. You know what I'm saying? He's an amateur at this. So I don't have no idea how it's going to turn out. They're telling me Spawn is not going to talk. They're not going to give me a backstory. Spawn is just going to be there. And I heard that he's going to be like in the shadows, like a specter, and you're not going to see him a lot. So that sounds sketchy to me, you know?
No, but I mean, it could be, the way that I thought about it was, they're going to do it basically like Pennywise the Clown is a very interesting character, and he has all these powers, and he's right there, and he's haunting people. So it could be something like that, where Pennywise is just as important as the characters that are, if not more important than the characters that he's terrorizing. Not saying Spawn is going to terrorize people; it's more like Judgment, but
he's going to kill people who deserve to die. Yes, they deserve to die, Steve.
Okay, so this on a excitement rating of 1 to 10, where are you on this? First on Jamie Foxx as Al Simmons, and then on the whole idea of
I'm cool with that.
I'm
cool with that, but because
and it's supposed to be super low budget, and that's a good thing because it gives them freedom to do more non-traditional things.
I just hope it's good, but my whole thing is, that's. I mean, it raised an eyebrow because Jamie Foxx's name is now attached to it. Well, otherwise, I'm still like, until I see a trailer.
Okay. Now in news.
So if it's 1 to 10, 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Excitement. Not really.
All right.
I'm probably still going to see it though because I see every superhero movie.
I think that Jamie Foxx wants to make amends for Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I think he won't let this be bad. Also, they've talked about how
it don't matter how if he wants it to be bad. It's that he has to be good in it, but still, you can only do so much with what you're given.
No. But what I'm saying is, I don't think he would sign on unless the pitch was good. And I also think.
So why would he sign up for Amazing Spider-Man?
No, that's different. I'm saying now he knows.
Like electricity fixing the gap in his teeth.
Do you think part of this is he saw Chadwick Boseman like, yo?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? We gotta.
He's like, yo, man, I
put
need
some
that
work out there for these black
superheroes, man.
Okay, now on.
But I'm all for black superhero movies. Bring on more.
The thing that I have been dreading. We got to talk about this. Rick Means Business Grimes is leaving The Walking Dead. Shirley, what's up?
What are y'all doing, AMC? What are y'all doing? Y'all running off everybody. You should have never killed Carl.
Cool.
And you should have never killed Carl. And now Rick is just there, like, seeing everybody making money, seeing Michonne making all the money. Michonne is a damn Avenger. John Bernthal.
Kelly, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
He's seeing everybody getting these Marvel checks, and he's just like, the popularity of the show is just dwindling and dwindling away until now my popularity is going to dwindle away with it. And then it's just there, like, because I'm on a failing show, like, my star is not shining as bright. So it's better to leave now before the ratings drop anymore.
The ratings already dropped. By the way, Kelly's here. You remember Kelly, who always used to keep us on point every week? Kelly, when Rick goes, I'm telling you right now, I'm not watching that show anymore. So the Walking Dead review show may not come back.
It's just like,
if this thing is true.
You took Morgan off the show, right? And I liked Morgan. And Rick is leaving the show. So what is left for me to watch this show?
Listen, look. It's just
like, I don't give a shit about Daryl. It's already a consensus that F Daryl.
Look, I
don't give a shit about Maggie. I heard she leaving the show too, but who cares?
I said this earlier today. I was having a conversation about this.
Yes.
Was all of this worth Jeffrey Dean Morgan being on the show? I don't know who he's sleeping with. And I'm a big fan of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the comedian. But every wrong decision that drove fans away was in service of this character. From Glenn to Carl, and then Carl, I'm sure, has something to do with Rick leaving. They killed Carl only so they could have an excuse to keep Negan on the show.
I can't really say that because that's
Scott literally what Scott Gimple said.
Yeah, but that's stupid because they didn't kill him in the damn comic books. It's just like
but this is what I'm
Negan
saying.
and Carl had a relationship.
But again, they wanted to find an excuse.
To Andrew Lincoln, it didn't make sense. But that's Andrew Lincoln's stupid thinking. That doesn't make it right.
Scott Gimple.
I'm sorry. Scott Gimple, that's what I mean. Scott Gimple, it didn't make sense.
I think Andrew Lincoln is leaving partly for what you said,
yeah,
but also because he doesn't like how they did Chandler Riggs dirty.
Yeah.
And his character, and if he's doing it for character and story to tell, his character arc is done. His whole character arc was for his son.
He has no reason to do the show anymore.
But his character doesn't have a reason to exist.
Rick's whole thing is to make the world a better place for his son. That was it. And how the show is supposed to end is Rick is supposed to get killed, and they're supposed to hand it off to Carl, and then see Carl walk to the sunset.
If you're gonna kill Rick, at least have it be him saving his son.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna kill Rick, and his son is already dead. Like, you just disrespected everything he did.
Rick ain't got no reason to be there for jacket that don't fit him. If y'all don't know jacket that don't fit him, that's Judith. But it's just like he has no.
Justin, what's up, man?
He has no reason to.
I'm with you. I'm over it. Season 5. Like, okay, not season 5. I think I was like. I even gave them a pass after they killed Glenn, but they never really picked it up from there, right? Because I was so invested in the show. I was with the show, hard body.
Nah, that whole season, the whole season up until they killed Glenn was a good season. You can't even front like it wasn't a good season, and it wasn't entertaining. It's when they came back and then Rick and them was eating shit for a whole season. It's just
they dragged it out.
Then I was done with the show. But before that, it was interesting. It was just like, okay. It was a lot of stuff going on.
Also, to me, I think the show was just as good as it always was. And when that season finale where Morgan finally met Rick again, and then Rick shot the porch stick.
Yeah.
Up until then, I think they didn't really have any missteps. And
the show was pretty
after
decent.
That, it slowly went down, and then they started to pick it up back at the end. But killing Carl was like, Carl is the purpose of the show. Even if you don't like, even if his character is annoying sometimes.
It was mainly his stupid haircut, and I didn't like the lip that he would give his pops. But that's just because I'm a father.
So I'm done. I don't watch Fear the Walking Dead, and I've always said
episode.
That's I've always said it. The day that, because there's no way to go out of the show. They're not gonna make Rick walk off into the sunset.
No, they should end it. End it, because if you think anybody's watching this bullshit, Without Rick, it's the Rick show. The show didn't start when any of the other characters. It started with Rick,
and this is
and you
what
see
I'm
the
saying.
whole thing
So
through Rick's perspective. So you kill Rick, and you killed the show. That's it.
You're getting rid of Rick so that you can keep Daryl and Negan on the show.
Whoever, like
Negan cannot carry a show. I'm sorry, he can't. And this character, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I love him as an actor, but he is not worth all of the shit they've done in service of making him a big bad character. I'm sorry.
I feel like they handled it poorly. It's not that them bringing on Negan on the show was a mistake, because if the story's moving forward, if the story's moving forward, Negan is a character that's supposed to be introduced. It's just like how they introduced Abraham and Rosita and Mullet, whatever his name is. Hold on
1 second. Justin Mooney says Negan will be the new Rick. Negan could never be Rick.
Could never.
I have no interest, especially just if I have to watch Rick die, which I'm not even emotionally ready for that yet. Yeah. There is no way ever I'm even ever gonna empathize with Negan. Not after if you kill Rick. I will only see Rick's death every time I look at Negan.
I figured it out, Steve. You're right. Freaking Jeffrey Dean Morgan must be blowing Scott Gimple.
Or Angela Kang. You don't know.
Or one of them. Because if that's what's going to happen, and then it's just like, Negan is going to carry on and then do right and then, be the leader that, and take on in Rick's, footsteps and then try to be a good guy and then make it. I don't want to watch it.
No, I will break my TV. I need a new TV too.
Be like, yo, cable, you're fucking canceled,
Justin,
bro.
you are wrong. Absolutely not. I do not allow it. It's done. I don't want to. Look, the title of this topic is The Walking Shark, because they have jumped the shark.
They shit the money back.
Look. If they want to keep the money train going, try to find a way to make Fear the Walking Dead good. But if you kill Rick, The Walking Dead needs to end.
It's over.
Go on with Fear the Walking Dead. But and honestly, don't kill Rick, right? Just end the show.
Just end the show.
And have him walk off into the sunset. You took enough away from him. There's nothing.
He has nothing. I mean, no, because in all honesty, you can't say that. But it's really because. From you killed his son, it's just that, and he sees the show is dwindling in popularity. Like I said, his star is dimming, and he just wants to do something else, and it doesn't make sense to him anymore for him to keep doing it. Even if they don't want to kill him, I can see why he doesn't want to do it anymore. You understand?
Yeah, yes, because look at John Bernthal. He's doing Punisher. He's doing Baby Driver. He's doing all of these things. His career is
popping, but because Rick is the star of the show, he doesn't have the time because the show is based on him. So he doesn't have, like, other people, it's just like, it goes weeks, you don't see these other people. They all shooting other shit. But because he's the centerpiece of the show, he can't do nothing else. This is his whole life, so he wants to expand his career. Do it now. Now's the time.
Guerrera's doing movies left and right, and now she's a part of the MCU. She was just in the 2 of the highest grossing films of all time, right?
Yeah.
And so he has to be looking at that. And then look, even Merle, what's his name? Can't remember.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
He's over there in the MCU doing these big things. So I think that Andrew Lincoln, it's time. 9 years of your life.
Rooker, whatever his name is.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, Rooker.
9 years of your life, you have to, as an actor, if you love acting and not just a check, because I'm pretty sure he's rich and he doesn't need money anymore from the show, I think it's time for you to go on and cement your career, because there's only so much you could do with one character.
Yeah. And I mean, he's told all the stories you can tell, man.
If I'm that actor...
A decade, it's time to let it go,
Yeah,
bro.
But also, if I'm that actor, and I know that the soul of this character is his son, and the son is gone, there's no motivation left for me to play the character.
There's still, because he could have a baby with Michonne. And you can end the show there. Like, let him, shoot up Michonne's club, and then, they having a baby and end the show there.
I mean,
kill Negan, or kill whoever the next, make it be one big war, and then at the end of the season, they find out Michonne is pregnant, and then that's it. Off as the sunset, happily ever after.
That's fine. I'm okay with that, but
but end the show, because I'm not watching it after he's gone.
And don't kill Rick.
Yeah.
And if you kill Rick,
We riot.
To tell me that you putting Negan or Daryl in charge?
Nah.
Honestly, I don't even know if I want to watch next season. Because I'm not emotionally ready to handle that. I've been through too much trials and tribulations with Rick.
He's lying because we're watching it because that's our highest watch show.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm telling you right now.
He won't be happy about it, but he's watching it.
I'm not. I don't give a F. If you kill Rick, I'm not doing that show anymore.
Steven's just gonna be sitting over there silent, running the show while me and y'all be talking about it.
I'm not watching it. If Rick is not on the show, I'm not watching it, and I'm not contributing to talking about it. I'm telling you.
Word.
You think I'm joking?
Yeah, it's the highest rated show.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be highest rated because guess what?
Yeah.
The show ain't gonna be highest rated.
I like him, I tell him.
Okay. Yeah. You think so?
Yeah.
I'm done.
You're gonna be watching that show.
Okay. Watch
because you're gonna watch it to see how they end it.
But they're not gonna end it, so it's pointless.
You're gonna watch this last season.
All right.
After that, no, but you're definitely watching this last one.
They said Rick may only appear on a half dozen episodes. 6 episodes next season.
So you gotta watch it.
Okay.
It's my CTV, bro.
All right.
Next topic. Wrapping this thing up, B.
Next. And the final topic in this news event is Solo, a Star Wars story, is
flopping all over the place like a goddamn fish.
Yes, and it's not that it's flopping because nobody asked for this movie, right?
Yo,
but
this movie is flopping more than freaking James Harden and LeBron in the damn playoffs, bro.
I mean, except LeBron just won.
Yeah, they still both flop. Okay. They don't have shit to do with anything about winning. They flop. They're known for flopping, Steve. Watch basketball.
I'm just saying. LeBron just won. But my point
flopping means throwing yourself to the ground and acting like you're fouled. That don't have nothing to do with winning or losing. That's what flopping is.
Okay.
It's a basketball term.
I'll allow it. But I just think like this is indicative of having a fan hostile approach to making these movies. And I have to wonder, right?
Yes.
Is Kathleen Kennedy the right person to be running the Star Wars franchise?
Nobody asked for a Solo movie.
No, but not only did no one ask for a Solo movie, but, and this is spoilers right now, you killed Luke Skywalker in the last Star Wars movie. And you didn't give him... You should have watched it. It's May.
Wow. You just spoiled... You ain't even going to say spoiler alert?
I did say spoiler alert.
You didn't say spoiler alert.
I did say that. Kelly, Justin, whoever's watching, can you please confirm that I said spoiler alert?
You didn't.
I did, though.
You should be did. Because I'm going to watch it back. But thanks for ruining that for me. Thanks for taking that away from me.
Okay.
What, does he die fighting Snoke?
No.
Tell me.
No. But this is the thing. He died without even fighting.
He mastered the art of fighting without knowing how to fight?
He did a force projection, and he wasn't even on the planet. And they, again, this is why the backlash is there. The backlash from Star Wars The Last Jedi is not because Rey is a Mary Sue or it's a black stormtrooper. There's assholes out there like that, but they're
not Rey. FN or whatever his name is. Finn, yes. I'm saying Rey, they're calling Rey a Mary Sue, and they're saying Finn is the black stormtrooper. They didn't like that. And I'm saying those people can go suck a dick, right? Yeah.
We're not talking about those people.
Tens of thousands of stormtroopers. How do you know what color they are?
My thing is this.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard, though. Why people mad at that? But
No. But fuck those people, right? And they deserve the F word. What I'm saying is a lot of the top brass at Lucasfilm try to lump everybody in who didn't like The Last Jedi with those assholes. There's actually people who didn't like The Last Jedi because you killed Luke without giving him a final fight. You built everybody up in Episode 7 and said, hey, you should care about who Rey's parents are, or you should care about, or Snoke is so powerful and he has this big past, And in Last Jedi, they're just like, yeah, F that, we don't care.
Yeah, that's super trash. I never seen the movie, but now I actually don't want to see it. But because the fact that you let freaking crippled, midget Yoda freaking fight Count Dooku and gave him a fight, how the hell you don't give Luke one last fight?
You don't give Luke a fight, and then
like if there's anybody I want to see with Luke. A lightsaber. It's
one
Luke
last
Skywalker.
time. If you gotta kill him, that's fine.
He's the one started all this lightsaber shit. So how do you don't give him a lightsaber
when they
fight?
killed Han Solo, he went out like I understood it. He was trying to save his son, and they gave him one last hurrah of being Han Solo. They didn't do that with Luke. And even if you forget about that, they built up this big idea. Snoke is the big bad. Snoke is the new emperor, right? And then he just gets killed like a chump because he was talking shit, and Kylo Ren cuts him in half while he was in the middle of a conversation with no fight.
So are we talking about Solo, or you here ruining the fight?
I'm coming to Solo. My point is, you did all of that.
The whole movie for me.
You did all of that. It's May, about to be June.
But
you had 6 months.
We could have talked about Solo without you ruining that whole movie for me.
My point is,
I was planning on watching it this weekend.
You was never gonna watch it. Look, you do all of that. You do all of that in The Last Jedi, everything the fans were not asking for, and then tell every fan who didn't like it that they're lumped in with those racist or sexist assholes. And then
just put out good product, man.
Hold on, and then you follow that up. With a Solo movie that nobody asked for. Hashtag not my Han.
Not my Han. That's my Han right there.
You know what I'm saying? And look.
Like Childish Gambino can rock. I mess with, the boy. Childish Gambino. Look, but not so much this new guy. I don't even know this guy's name.
Alden Ehrenreich, and he's actually a very good actor.
Yeah, but not as Han Solo.
But so here's the thing. You literally could have made the same movie, not called it Solo, and just said all of these characters are in the current timeline and they're just in another part of the universe, and we'll connect them with the episodic stories.
You could have named them whatever the hell.
And that's what I'm saying. Same characters, same movie. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But now you're just...
because they're trying to get the original fans of the shit to watch it, but
also
they're not going to watch it if you don't have the original cast. You can't
tell me the Star Wars universe is this big, vast thing, and then you keep going back to the greatest hits. Well. Right? And I'm sorry to make the comparison, but you watch what the MCU, all they're doing is about expanding. Here's a new character in this part of the world. Here's a new character in that part of the world. Let's expand things. Here we're just going to... we're going to tell you stories, and then we're going to just go back because we don't think we have anything stronger than what happened in the original trilogy. They're making the Star Wars universe smaller, and people have a right to be upset about it. And this just shows. This film did worse than Justice League opening weekend.
That's pretty bad.
$83 million, and it was projected to do as high as $175 for the opening weekend. $83 million, or $84.
Well, at least Disney's making all that goddamn Avengers money, so they'll be all right.
No, look, they'll be fine. My question
is... They still in the black.
Is it time to make a change at the top in Star Wars?
Oh, whoever's running the Star Wars department is getting fired.
I don't know. Maybe
they might, or like they need to just rethink it.
All I'm saying is conversations.
Okay, here's
it's Kathleen Kennedy running the Star Wars.
I mean, I heard they was trying to talk Kevin Feige into doing it, but why would he do that?
I think if they gave him both. Yeah. But I don't want his time spread thin.
I'm sure he could, because he's delegating responsibilities, and then he gets to...
any good
all he has to do, all you need Kevin Feige is there to look at it and then send him the deals and be like, yeah, this is whack, do something better. That's all he does with all these Marvel movies. Like, nah, I don't like this or whatever. Because he's been involved in the Marvel movies since even before the MCU officially started. He was involved in the X-Men movies. He's the one who told them, to make sure Wolverine has that coif of hair, that Ace Ventura, whatever it is you call Wolverine, the way his hair goes, and make sure it looks like that. And he's the idea man. He's the Willy Wonka of this thing, man.
Look, so the thing, my money is Dave Filoni, You may not know who Dave Filoni is, but he has been in charge of Star Wars Rebels, which is the cartoon that a lot of people enjoy. And he is a guy that really knows. I think Kathleen Kennedy knows the Star Wars lore, but I don't think she respects it. Right?
Yeah. We already knew this Solo thing was in trouble because way before it came out, way before any of these other movies came out that it's in competition with for the box office right now, because it was stupid to put it on. They should have put it out in August if you was going to put it out.
No.
Or whatever.
Put it out in December. Literally your last, 3 movies. The last 3 Star Wars movies, which all did north of $1 billion, were released in December when they didn't have a lot of. It was stupid to put it out 5-6 months after the last Star Wars movies. You are not Marvel. A last Star Wars movie that was very divisive. I'll say it like that. I won't say everybody didn't like it, but it was a very divisive movie. You put it out 5 months later. And it's not even 5 months. Why would you put it out 1 week after Deadpool?
But my dude,
and 3 weeks after
Infinity War. Is anybody surprised if they were been saying months ago that this thing was going to flop all over the damn place?
No, but the projections came in.
I don't give a crap about projections. They kept replacing directors, which was already a bad sign. I had already read months ago that this is a write-off for Disney. They don't expect it to make any money at all. And they just putting it out. So if you already reading that, why would you think it's going to make money?
Because the projections came in. But aside from that, here's the thing.
Projections, but they projected that it was flopping months ago?
No. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're reading. They said, from what I was reading, Disney was looking at this thing as a write-off.
By the way, speaking of write-offs, if I had a conspiracy
so maybe you have different information as I have, but months ago I heard that.
I'm just saying, as of a few weeks ago, the projections were as high as $175 million for the opening 4-day weekend. But that's neither here nor there. Every Star Wars movie has had production issues and has been scheduled for May, but ended up getting pushed back until December. They fired Lord and Miller. They fired Josh Trank. They fired Colin Trevorrow. They basically fired the guy who did Rogue One. I can't think of his name right now, but they basically did a bunch of reshoots and changed the whole third act, which is probably for the better, but didn't include him in it. So Gareth Edwards. And now they had to come crawling back to J.J. Abrams to finish off the trilogy. And I'm just wondering, and if they sort of can't get their act together and we see the numbers, we see diminishing returns, and then you watch Marvel announce 10 movies at a time.
I don't care about Star Wars movies. I have not watched the last 3.
But I'm saying there's a reason you don't care about them.
Because they're trash. And it's
they're
just
not trash.
It's not even. I mean, obviously, a lot of people stop watching them, Steve. If it's doing half what it was projected to do, so I'm not the only one.
Well, look, the Force Awakens did over $2 billion.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi did 1.3. Still a lot of money, but $2 billion to 1.3.
Half.
And Rogue One, which is the comparison for Solo, did $1 billion, and it did. Guess what? Rogue One in its 3-day opening weekend did nearly 100. In its 3-day weekend it did 155 million, and in 4 days it did 175. Because of the advertisement.
The way they advertised this Solo movie, it didn't look interesting to me from the trailers. They didn't tell me any story. They didn't show me funny jokes. Nothing. They just showed me pictures of them in the Millennium Falcon. Okay, characters that I'm supposed to know. Okay, that's Solo. That's whatever. They showed me nothing.
On nostalgia.
No, you can't bank on nostalgia if you don't show me the original actors. The reason why Rogue One did what it did, because it's just I see in the trailer. Oh, you got young Princess Leia, even if she's only in it for 2 minutes.
She wasn't in the trailer,
but I saw her in the trailer. I don't know how many trailers you watched, but I saw her in a trailer. You know what I'm saying, for the movie. I saw. Darth Vader is in it, even if it's only for a second.
That wasn't in the trailer,
but I'm saying that's nostalgia because it's original people. If you having new actors and playing then it's not the same. It's not the same. And it's just you told me nothing. The trailer did nothing to sell it for me. It's just even though you said it was a decent movie. It's the King Arthur movie. That was a decent movie, but because it was such a terrible trailer, nobody knew that it was good. You know, because of the way they advertised it.
I mean,
it's a lot of things. They need. We was talking about this earlier, but let's wrap this thing up. It's just like they should try telling different stories. This was the idea I had. Like maybe you should try telling it from the dark side. We've never seen a movie ever where you follow a movie from the dark side's perspective of why the dark side does what they do. Do a whole movie following.
Some would argue that's what the prequels did. They showed Anakin's travels to the dark side, but that's
not really because he was good the whole time up until like the end of the last movie. It's just they're like, no, I want to join the dark side, and he started talking all stupid, and then he just looked evil.
Yeah. No, but
they could do a better movie.
You can't tell me it's about balance, and then you only do things from the perspective
of the good side,
and making them make the light side look like the good side. But I mean, that's all I got. I can't. I think they need
basically
to make a
they said what they're going to do is they're going to space these things out and stop putting them out like 2 a year. Marvel could do that but y'all
not
don't
doing
do that.
2 a year, but 5 months apart. So you know what if you read the tea leaves, that just means they're going to go back to putting the movies out in December, where they have the free space. What did they have to compete against? Aquaman? You could have put it out in December. This is all hubris. That's all this was. Thinking we could put it out at this time. Now
it's just like we'll make all the money.
I want to leave everybody with a conspiracy theory. What if, because again, Disney knew what they were getting with Roseanne. What if they fired her today to kill the news story of Star Wars flopping at the box office? I'm just saying.
Yeah, but they're still going to be talking about Star Wars flopping next week, and they won't be talking about Roseanne because it's going to keep flopping.
Yeah.
It's just going to get worse. It's not like the numbers are going to spike up next week.
But they could be ruining the brand, and they really need to be careful here. All right,
I feel bad because it's sullying Ron Howard's good name. He's a good director.
No, I mean he made a serviceable movie. I think this would have been fine if it was some random.
Its timing is what it is. And like you said, they should have named them random. Like whoever just made a new story, and they should have put it out in December.
Yeah,
but it's just like bad decision making by the corporate heads at Disney.
Yeah, and if it didn't work, you could just be like, all right, we're not doing this again. But now you people have these childhood attachments.
Right now, it's a bad taste in people's mouth with the last couple movies y'all did. So all I'm saying is the next movie,
one movie y'all did,
the last 2 movies they did. I mean, nobody because of the
like
Last Jedi, but a lot of people didn't even see this. A lot of people didn't even see this.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right. Tell them where they can find you, good sir.
The dude abides with a couple periods in between, and it's at the end, and always up in your girl.
All right. You got anything you want to let them know about? Anything you're working on? Anything?
Nah, I'm not working on anything.
All right.
I'm working on finishing this drink.
Okay. Well, there you go. All right. You can find me on your favorite social media network, as long as it's not Snapchat, at Steve A.M. Johnson. And if you're into politics, you can find me on Saturdays on the second page, where we keep you up to date on all of Trump's shenanigans. And you can also find me at some point on the 36 Chambers of Fatherhood whenever we're going to record another episode of that. I think there's an audio episode 7 out, so you can catch that on iTunes. And we will put this on iTunes later. And please do not forget, if you can, take a moment to like this video and share it with your friends on your social media, and subscribe to us on YouTube, and keep the party going.
Hugs not drugs.
Yes. I didn't get there yet, but thanks. Hugs not drugs, and Wakanda forever.
Yes, unless it's marijuana, because it's about to be legal in New York anyway. Holla.
And that's all, folks.